it's very interesting to talk about storytelling when we're talking about qualitative, because sometimes we just think about the surveys that are pretty nice, but also the storytelling is a very good tool to measure the impact. Why? Because we can find keywords in the stories of the volunteers or keywords in the stories of the partners that can help us to measure a real impact. So we can have the qualitative strategy through surveys, through storytelling, and through focus groups. Which kind of questions can help us to improve better practices, accept mistakes, and evaluate the real of our impact? Sometimes what happens is that we prepare surveys about what was the best experience or what you preferred, but we are afraid of asking about the mistakes or about what can we do better, because we think that we're opening a door to people to complain. But I will tell you that it's important to do that, because we can recognize also mistakes to make it better, but also because we can see if that keyword or that phrase or that situation was repeated many times. So we're talking about patterns. Through a survey, we can measure an impact, not just for 1 or 2 comments. Those are important. I'm not saying that they're not. But if it's a constant or it's repeated, we need to pay more attention about that.
Helping is a marathon, not sprint. This is a word from, those are the words from our mayor, and I think they are very, very relevant here. It's roughly 115 or something like that days after the outbreak of the war. We are still supporting, we are changing the way of support that we are providing, but this is clear for us that Ukrainian people here in Gdańsk will stay with us for many more months of this year, maybe even longer. And the thing is to allow them or to integrate with the society or to provide the temporary solutions as they will decide to go back to Ukraine. And in that scenario, I think that our obligation as members of this society will be to help rebuild their society after the war and help to rebuild the country. So there is a lot of challenges that are still before of our eyes, and we need to stay focused, and we need to be united as a Europe in this challenge of supporting those who need our challenge. And here in Gdańsk, in the city of solidarity, I think that we are on a good path to continue our support.
We have the second strategic direction of strengthening European volunteering. Under this strategic direction, we will launch very soon a very complex process called New Waves of Volunteering. And for sure, events when mentors could apply will come up. We will have a launching event very, very soon, and the conference next year. So resources and events are being produced for mentors under this direction as well. We have the third direction, which is embedding solidarity. And here we want to make sure that, as I mentioned before, solidarity is a transversal value in all programs. And under this concept, we just published a manual for facilitators of learning, which includes methods to use with young people in approaching values, learning, mobility-based, value-based mobilities. And the ticket is available. If you are working with mentors, it's a really good tool that they can also use because there are methods there that they could use very simple with their mentees. Regarding the support of the implementation, our fourth strategic direction here, we have a lot of activities that are dealing with the national agencies. And our strong message regarding our work with the national agency is that they should also support mentors. I know that some national agencies around Europe, they have strong programs regarding mentoring. They also offer national training courses for mentors. but this is not happening across all the national agencies. So our message is also when we have the staff meetings, or when we meet with the quality label experts, or when we have colleague support groups, to make sure that the message that mentors are important and mentors needs to be supported also at the national level is passed on.
That Europe lacks quality volunteer management courses at the higher educational level. In some universities, it is part of some courses, and in a lot of universities, when it comes to management or some schools on management, volunteer management is not talked about at all. So, and there are big gaps and needs in terms of recognition of volunteer managers as profession and in general, and there is an existing need to properly train and accredit volunteer managers with qualifications based on European standards and European values. And the common action is needed to gather relevant experiences, expertise, and skills to collaborate to produce some kind of higher educational learning opportunities or modules and associated learning resources. So the objective of our project is to gain a greater understanding of the current situation regarding the training, as well as qualifications currently available to existing and potential volunteer managers. For example, in Croatia, it is only volunteer management courses are only part of non-formal learning, and it's not available in universities.
And if you look at other measurements that we do, is that we attract young people, which makes sense because young people are, of course, they have a very large online presence. So we see that we are able to reach these target groups. 43% of the participants volunteer for the first time. So it's really a new group of people that you are able to reach. It's an additional group. And also what is very surprising is that there is 25% more volunteering thanks to the online way of working. And maybe you can imagine why, because I told you about the e-matching. And if you are a volunteer and you receive in your email automatically potential volunteer jobs, then you are more likely to respond than if you don't receive those requests. So we have done this research with the Erasmus University in the Netherlands, and we found that it increases volunteer capacity with 25%.